lines in the Post, the Daily News, even that lovely paper, the Times, that I wouldn't even shove under my dog's rear. And the dog gets, I took my tape measure, or the cat, and I measured off in all the newspapers 21 inches for an animal, gets a bellyache, or they're up there with the whales, and 4 lines, Alan, 1 inch for a child. This is why I am pleading with the public. You've forgotten how to learn to relate to each other. Because the dog doesn't say, hey, drop dead mama, go to hell, papa, and it doesn't take drugs.
So you're saying we spend too much time and give too much attention to animals, not enough to humans? You're upset with these animal rights activists?
Absolutely. Now, they say I shouldn't wear a fur coat, so I was on with Cleveland Amory one day on Bill Boggs' show. I looked down at Amory's shoes, and I said, hey, what animal paid with its life with that leather shoe? He got up and walked off the show. And then I asked Bob Barker, who was over there.
Not that you'd ever drop a name.
No, but Bob Barker, who didn't want to do Miss America because they wore a fur coat. He was wearing a silk tie. 1,000 silkworms died to make that tie. And if you're a vegetarian, Alan, carrots scream when you put them in boiling water.
Do you think that's true? Carrots scream?
Oh, celery, it's all live.
I know celery screams.
Yes, they all scream. I love to poke fun. They're such a bunch of phonies.
Now, what about this cat who represented all cats, was accused of biting and scratching? Crimes against humanity? What kind of crimes against humanity?
Well, if your scalp is torn and your face is ripped apart with 300 stitches and the cat's nails underneath you has every kind of dirt, it likes to play around with cockroaches. It scratches the earth, so they get cat scratch fever. That fever, your idiot doctor won't recognize right away, and you can lose the child. So what I'm asking is care, responsible pet ownership. My kids have dogs, rabbits. If I were in a room with your animal, it'd be in my lap all night because I can talk to the dog and cat. I can't talk to the idiot owner.
You prefer a dog to a cat?
Oh, well, no. I think the cat is elegant and gorgeous.
But as a pet, it's safer to have a dog than a cat?
I don't think either one can be put. A dog, you could have it for years.
This cat's also accused of fraud. In this case with William Kunstler, Katz was accused of fraud.
I don't know what he means by fraud.
Extorting billions from consumers through sales of cat trinkets and delicacies.
Oh, well, the sales are in the billions in pet food and, little things for the comfort, mink coverlet, a house that costs $5,000 heated. Well, I read in the papers right here up the street near Harlem where I live, people have to live with the ceiling falling in and
But if someone chooses to have an air-conditioned pet house like the Jim and Tammy Faye Bakers, what's wrong with that?
Now you got me mad. That you're going to invite me back because I've done a 10-year study on these religious...
Well, let's talk about one thing at a time here.
But you brought it up.
Okay, no, but I'm just saying...
Jimmy Baker, you're in the same breath as the cat? The cat has dignity.
Well,
what the hell
the same breath as the cat house.
Look, Jimmy Swaggart, did you ever watch him? I've been taping him for 10 years. He practically has an erection on the air. When he goes into his thing, I think his pants are going to burst. And then his wife sits there.
Well, let's just deal with one thing at a time here, though, okay? Now, do you object to animal rights activists? Do you have a problem with... I don't know where William Kunstler is, by the way, but I'm sorry he can't... Hopefully we'll get him on the phone. Do you object to animal rights activists?
I don't object to anyone voicing their rights. I don't care who you are. I'll take on the KKK.
So, well, what's wrong with those who want to see that animals are protected?
But they're crazy with it. When they take on rights, they're Meshuggah. Yesterday I went to Central Park to cover that idiot Henry Stern, whom I'm going to get. Are you listening, Henry?
You're going to get him?
Yes. My city commissioner of parks has a law, state law, that says no animal may defecate in the park or be off a leash. He's going to let the dogs run 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. after they've done their poop, and then my child's going to come in. I brought with you my medical reports, what we just found in Central Park. The list is that long. Hookworm, whipworm, tapeworm, toxicaricones that causes blindness. So, Henry, if you're listening, this is a state law. I called up your pal, Koch. Koch, I'm mad at you. I'm mad at all of you for not defending the rights of children.
So, who's most at risk? Children at risk for not unsanitary conditions with dogs and cats?
Listen to this, Alan. My friend Dr. Larry Glickman went off to Paris. He's the top expert that teaches me. I've known him 20 years. and Dr. Peter Shantz of the Center for Disease Control, if Kunstler had in his whole head what I have in my pinky in knowledge, he wouldn't look like the schmuck he came off as.
What happened on the reporters on Saturday night?
He was an idiot.
He was an idiot?
He was an idiot. I like, hey, Bill, I hope your knee is better. I just got over the knee surgery, too.
Why was he an idiot? Who won the case?
It's going to be next Saturday.
Is this being decided by a 900 number, basically?
Yeah, no, Channel 5 had a 900 number, but the jury had given its decision. We had a real trial, by the way, in an old courthouse up in Harlem.
What was the
real
decision?
Judge. Nobody knows yet.
And what happens, what's at stake here? What if William Kunstler wins? What does that mean?
If he wins, it means the cats are going to continue to poop on us and kill birds and befoul the environment.
And if he loses?
And if he loses, it'll be the same thing. Nobody is winning or losing.
So this is not a case that really has any stake in anything. It doesn't affect the laws.
They tried to make believe that we wanted all cats banned. There was a man, he just passed away, I used to deal with in Michigan, that really had. I brought it with me. He wanted a state law banning all cats because of the death to birds, the befouling of the area, and the...
Do you want cats banned?
Oh, no. I said I want them neutered.
You want them restricted?
I want it spayed, restricted. I want a license to be paid for every cat. In my building, we have people have 5 cats. If you go out to the incinerator, you can almost die from the stink of the litter pans. It's so precious. Let them freeze it, frame it, eat it. I don't give a damn what you do with it. It's your litter, and you keep it.
Well, what would you do with the litter when the litter's done with it? You put it in the incinerator room, right?
No, you will not put it in the incinerator room.
Where should it go?
You wrap it in such a way that we don't smell it, and you know...
Wrap it? In other words, go and get a gift box, get a Tiffany's box, and a ribbon?
I have a couple of politicians I'd like to listen to. Are you listening? Giuliani, Koch, Ruth Messenger, the whole bunch of you stink, but that's another show.
What would you do with it? How would you wrap it? How would you get rid of it?
If there are plastic ways of getting rid of it, frankly, it should go down the toilet.
But litter's not made to do that.
But
and neither are the septic systems in Manhattan or other parts of the city.
I know that, but they're therefore living the way we do that. We don't even have proper homes for children, and we don't have a home for people. I think you're going to have to make a choice. Why
is it one or the other? Well, people can enjoy their pets.
No, they cannot. No, I got a call from Paris. I go all over the world, Ellen. I went to Australia, China, all over lecturing on this subject. And I got a call from Paris. There are 700,000 dogs, they told me, more than children. And in Paris, you can bring them into a restaurant. Mrs. Bill Buckley, Mrs. Condé Nast, you dare and try to get the law that I worked so hard. You dare and bring your pet into a restaurant. And you will not bring it into a motel or hotel that I'm in. Can you imagine sleeping on a bed or taking a bath that your cat or dog was washed in? So I made a big...
Well, you don't wash a cat.
Oh, people do.
No, you don't wash a cat.
They certainly do. I've seen them do it on the
I sleep with my cat every night. My cat curls up on the foot of my bed. Yeah.
Oh, I should have known it.
Why should you have known it? Why should you have known it?
I could tell by the attitude, a real mother, father, you're uptight about it.
What are you, a psychiatrist now?
You bet I am.
I'm uptight about what?
About the way you were questioning me, I was beginning to wonder, what does he own? A wife, a dog, a cat, a snake?
I don't own a wife, no. I don't even have one. Never mind own one.
Boy, have I got a girl for you, Ellen.
All right, but a cat.
A cat?
I have my little cat. She's 14 years old. She sleeps at my foot of my bed. She's toilet trained. She goes on, I don't even have a litter box. She goes on top of the commode. And then I just flush.
I've heard
She's
of
toilet
that.
trained.
That I've heard of, and I've seen cats do it, by the way, and I think that's lovely. Look, they try to tell me that the cat's going to solve all your problems. The cat doesn't say again, drop dead mama or papa, whatever it is. Now, when I got into that battle with Morton Downey 10 days ago, I've been on 3 times with him. Twice we never had a fight. This last time on Pitbull.
Well, he's desperate now. He'll do anything. He'll fight with anybody.
No,
even a 79-year-old woman like yourself.
Yeah, but this time, when his audience was packed with pit bulls, this big one on the stage, one of them with me, that was totally irresponsible. What I want to bring out is, I looked out at the audience and I said, as you know, I've made a study of how many people use dogs for sexual intercourse and cats.
I beg your pardon?
You heard me. So if you come up to the house...
You've made a study of how many people use dogs for bestiality?
Plenty.
You're talking about in this area or all over the country?
All over the world. Read your Bible. Go back since man began. First,
what percentage are we talking
sheep.
about?
What do you think? I go around following them? If a guy
You just
looks
said you had the
if
statistics
a
on...
guy or a girl looks real satisfied, and the girl has Great Danes and a lot of big dogs, and she's living in a one-room apartment, think twice. And if the guy looks happy, look, that's none of my business. I don't care who you screw.
I'm happy, but my cat is, quite frankly, spayed, so there's not much opportunity.
But, Alan, let me tell you something. When I said that to the audience, Downey went berserk. Those of you, do you know I didn't see the tape? People called me, they didn't let me know when it was on. So he went berserk, practically went to hit me with the mic, called me a wrinkled 78-year-old bitch or witch. I was so mad I didn't know. So I said to him, the only thing wrinkled on this stage tonight is your penis, sir.
You're 78 years old, Fran?
I'm 78.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What a mouth on this woman, huh?
58-year-old Alan, when the taxi nearly killed me, ran over, and the cop, I was knocked unconscious, and I opened my eyes laying on West End Avenue, the gutter. And the cop said, "What's your name?" And when I could see my brain and my tongue were working.
Right, we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, I don't know where Bill Kunstler is, but we'll take some calls for
He
you.
knew I was going to be on.
No, he knew. He agreed to be here, or at least by phone. And we'll continue. We'll take calls at 212-570-WMC. I'm sure there are many cat people who are not too thrilled about your stance on this. And,
I happen to love the cat. If the cat were in the room with me, be on my lap all night. I love the cat. I think they're elegant and gorgeous. But what's that got to do? Would I go to sleep with a syphilitic husband?
I have no idea, Fran,
If
would
my
you?
husband or children had herpes, wouldn't I see that they're taken care of, and I wouldn't want to infect you with it? That's all I'm asking.
Are all cats syphilitic? Are all cats diseased? Are they all...
You didn't hear me say that. I said responsible ownership means the vet has got to tell you the disease. I've got the books here. The vet will use the word probably or maybe. That's baloney. We know these diseases are here. They're serious. Dr. Larry Glickman.
Right, let's hold that thought. We'll continue. 212-570-WMC. Former advocate for many years has appeared on various media here in New York City. She was to be with us with William Kunstler by phone. Bill has not been able to find us, or we him. They both were on Fox Television's The Reporters this past Saturday night, fighting this case of Felix Domestica versus the People. And it has to do with whether cats are guilty of biting and scratching, crimes against humanity, and fraud. And Fran thinks they are. You also think that people are guilty of bestiality larger than we would normally expect.
Oh,
and you said you've done research on this?
Oh, yes. From your Kraft Ebbing Sexualis book, you will find case after case listed. But if you go back into history, since man began, he has used sheep. When sheep herders go out, I understand.
But in what percentage are we talking about?
Do I know the fact that they use? It's supposed to be quite high, and it wouldn't be written up the way it was if it wasn't high. But people are not going to talk about it. Now there was a club downtown that you could get a dog for $50 a half hour, and that club was
New York
closed right here in New York.
When was this?
And 2 years ago. Now, it's opened again.
It's open now?
Yes. Heterosexuals use them as much as
So you're
gay
telling me there's a club in New York City...
That's right, where you can get a dog that can practice intercourse and oral sex.
In New York City?
That's right.
Do you know where this is located?
Sure I do.
How is it not closed down? How can I...
It was closed down.
If you know about it, wouldn't the
It has
authorities...
been closed down, but why don't you call the Board of Health and ask, hey, Dr. Joseph, how many times have I asked you to do your job there at the Board of Health?
Are they open? This club is now open for business?
It certainly is.
Why aren't they closed? Why haven't they closed
Let the police department worry. Mr. Koch, you got anything else
Well, you're
to do?
a consumer advocate. Have you contacted the authorities about this?
I was
lately?
very influential in getting one of them closed because we had a health problem as well.
But have you informed them about them currently being open, doing business?
I'm going to let them do it. At 78 years of age, I'm telling you, Alan, tonight that it exists. You must have connections. Call up the police.
You have more connections than I do. You've been fighting these battles for years.
Call up the police, somebody you like and trust, and ask them to tell you about this new one.
They know about it?
Yes. And
you think the police know about it?
Absolutely.
Why would they know about it and not shut it down?
Oh, Alan, how could you be so naive? How could you be, my darling?
I just ask questions, that's all.
All right, I asked the same question. I didn't know these things existed under my own nose.
Why are they not shut down then, if the police know about it?
If your grandmother had testicles, she'd be king. That's an old Yiddish expression.
What does that mean?
If the bubaka hat eya, you asked me why.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if your grandmother had balls, she'd be king.
Fran, I don't know what that means.
Well, it's a wonderful Yiddish expression.
78 years old, this woman, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
Yes, I'm sorry. Just tell me you're 78 years old.
That's
you're
right.
A feisty woman.
It's a wonderful expression that when I say to my mama, Mama, why? Why did this happen? Why, if your grandmother had wheels, she'd be a wagon. That's the type of thing it means. It's ridiculous, impossible. What do you ask me? Why?
Thanks for clarifying that. What's that?
You're reading every paper you've opened up. Child abuse, sexual abuse. How many years I'm trying to help Dr. Fontana. We bring you cases that are, you can't believe them. And you say, why? A father rapes a 6-month-old baby? And you ask me why?
If the authorities know that there's a club where this goes on in Manhattan someplace, and you say the police
it's
know
gone
about
all over the world. You can get this special treatment. What about the S&M clubs? If a guy likes to be beaten in order to get an erection...
I think whatever two adults do, whatever two consenting adults do with themselves...
All right, this is a consulting adult, an adult dog, an adult person.
No. I wouldn't put animals in that category. Whatever... Why do you,
I understand
why
the
does
dog
a nice,
likes
clean-cut woman like you get mixed up with
that?
That
is
like
not anything to do with clean cut. Why is this woman discussing AIDS before anybody in this country? 8 years ago, I was in San Francisco discussing it. I go all over the world as a recognized authority. I have the New York Medical Society's Award of the Year for my work. I'm a member of New York Academy of Sciences. My house is lined with awards for my work. So I can take on anybody.
Do people listen to you?
Huh?
Do people listen to you?
100,000 letters the Smithsonian wants. They've got part of my background. I have 2 rooms I pay rent for, the most remarkable library and med you've ever seen. You know, when you say make appearances, who was the first woman on television? 1939, Fran Lee.
That was you.
1941, starred in Little Women on NBC, and an actress for 25 years with 400 commercials. And I walked away so I wouldn't become a pimp of the industry. Bill Cosby pushing Jell-O with aspartame into children. Ed McMahon pushing land schemes. All these other people, Gene Shalit, jockey shorts, but Fran Lee.
What's wrong with jockey shorts? I'm wearing jockey shorts.
Fran Lee walked clean.
What's wrong with jockey shorts?
Well, he's the big movie critic, so what's he doing commercials for jockey shorts?
What's wrong with making a few extra dollars doing
commercials? All right, so then maybe that's what I should do. Then I'm not so bright, right? I'm not. My own money and my poor Sammy's in our retirement is keeping this foundation alive, that I can tell that mother and father out there, watch your child. All I care about, Alan, is kids who've inherited this crummy society. Walk down Broadway, walk down your streets, garbage all over the place.
Let's go to our telephones for Fran Lee. 212-570-WMCA. Michael, you're on the air.
Hi, how you doing?
How are you?
Long time no speak. Anyway, I'd like to ask Miss Lee a question. Does she have statistics on how many cats have killed people in this country ever?
No, but we had 3,000 on the toxoplasmosis alone. And I wasn't discussing killing of the cats killing. I was discussing diseases from cats to children especially. And because it's a non-reportable disease, there's been a problem. And veterinarians didn't want it to get out that dogs or cats could give you or your child a disease because they were afraid you would abandon the animal. Fran Lee never abandoned an animal. I would take it to a doctor. I would have it treated. So statistics, you're going to take my 30 years of knowledge and expect me to give it to you here in 2 minutes, sir. Go to the medical colleges like I do and sit 8 and 10 hours a day and look up under animal bites, animal diseases, and do your homework. Don't think you're going to put me on the spot. I spent my money and a lifetime protecting people like you from becoming hurt by animals.
Ellen, just one comment.
Yeah.
There's either 3 possibilities here. She's either a professional actress, or you're trying to improve the ratings, or she's a retired librarian. Because
No,
You're full of you-know-what. Don't give me that crap. Who do you think you're talking to? Do you think I got my awards because I am an actress? I gave up a successful
You're both
career.
talking at the same time. Let's have one at a time here.
Get lost, buddy.
Michael, Fran Lee is a consumer advocate, has been for years. Worked for Westinghouse, was on Winds for a long time, was on Channel 5 for many years.
Channel 11, and go all over the world, sir, as a recognized authority. Australia, Iceland, Paris, London. I was written up in the London Times as one of the greatest authorities on diseases from animals to man. You match it, buddy.
Jack the Ripper. Keep her away.
Oh, get lost. Why do you waste your time with characters like this?
Thank you, Michael. Lucas, you're on WMCA. Hello.